Sometimes I like to paint over pastels and acrylic paintings. That's what I'm doing in this video. I have decided that this pastel demo of a floral isn't going anywhere, and so I've taken some golden black gesso and I'm just gessoing over the pastel to create a black surface. Now, what happens to the pastel? Well, it just gets mixed in with the black gesso, and I'm using kind of a rough brush because I want to create something that's got some rough texture, and I thought it would be fun to work on a black surface. So that's what I'm doing with the black gesso. I'm covering it all up, and I'll dry it with my hair dryer, and then I'll just play around and experiment and see what happens. So I don't throw very many pieces away. I don't throw a lot of canvases away. I don't throw pastels away. I paint over things. So the fun thing about doing something like this is that it's just experimental and it's fun. And it is something that didn't have a purpose for me. And so what I'm doing right now is just really choosing some pastels from dark to light. So I'm starting with some really dark colors like dark gray and maroon and burgundy. Really, it's just seeing what are they going to look like against this black background? And it's really kind of magical on how they look. And so when I experiment with something like this, then I can think, now, is this something that I want to do in the future? Do I want to do a painting on a black surface? I'm not sure. I really like how some of it looks. Maybe I might paint part of a paper with black gesso only and have clear gesso on one side, black on the other. It's just an experimental process. So I really like how it looks. I love the layering. I love seeing the black showing through, being able to build up those layers, practicing different mark making, some long, thin lines, some thick lines, some organic lines, some bold colors, some subtle colors of neutrals, and just really seeing what it looks like. It's just a lot of fun to be able to experiment like this. Experimenting is always a part of my process. That's how I have learned so many different things, is by always asking myself, what if questions. That's what I asked myself when I painted over the first pastel, was what if I paint over this pastel? What is it going to look like? So then it was, what if I paint over this pastel with black gesso? So I encourage you to experiment. Try this. Take something that you don't care about, something that is sitting around, cover it up with some black gesso, and then see what happens. And you can either use pastels or you can paint over it. I could have done an acrylic painting over this instead of the pastels, but I do really like how the pastels look. So it's a lot of fun, and I encourage you to give it a try.